Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, on my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Likes, shares and comments are greatly appreciated on both or either or both of those platforms. And thank you to everybody who's doing that thus far. It's helping me grow. So I put out as much free content as I can, mainly via tarot. Daily energy reads as boys permitting. I have two young boys at home, and with current circumstances they are a bit boisterous, so I try and fit in as many as I possibly can. These daily energy reads are me picking up on the energy around me, taking some time to feel it out and then translating it via tarot and bringing it to you. It just helps forewarn, forearm, and helps you navigate the day. Or if you're catching the reading at the end of the day, it'll help you make sense of what's gone on throughout the day by knowing what kind of energies were around, what people were acting out on, what people were picking up on. I also put out monthly tarot readings for each sign, so check those out. You can always book me for a private tarot reading, which is much more in-depth, much more personal, and we get right down to the nitty-gritty of the questions that you want to ask and the answers that you need to receive back. So you can always do that with any of the contact details above or below this video, depending on where you're watching it. Or you can contact me on Facebook Messenger at True Divine 44. Just put in capitals reading if that's what you want. I also do energy workout sessions where I help you firstly feel the energy that you're holding within, get rid of any blocks that stop the flow of that energy. Picture it like a secondary circulatory system. So it's something there that we can use to help us give that extra fire, that force, that empowerment. So it's important that we know how to use it, and it's important that we know how to recognize the abundant energy around us all the time that we can take in as fuel and use with intent to get through a set of circumstances, to just enjoy our day more, to feel more empowered, to feel more divine and sovereign. So I do those sessions also, again via FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, whatever modem you use, I'll try and implement it at my end for you. So isolation doesn't even matter. We can do both of those services just fine through the internet. So book those in if you're interested. So all of that being aside, this is the daily energy read for the 20th of April 2020, and it's a pretty big day in that the first card is a major arcana and it's the Judgment card, and this is talking about things from reaching from the deep, from the grave, this rebirth, this reaching down within and grabbing on back on to a life path that you know means something to you, that you know you are directed and fired up about going down. It's this second chance card. It's this chance to stop and pause just for a moment and really strip away anything that doesn't serve us, anything that we don't want to take forward, that we don't want to bring into our new world. So this is a real deep feeling card in that we're stripping away anything that is made up of ego, anything that just doesn't fit anymore, and we're assessing what to take forward also, all of those lessons learned, even the harshest of lessons learned, healed from, and able to take something good forward from it. So it's a real card of rebirth, renewal, and it's this karmic ending and karmic beginning card. The question you ask yourself when you're in the energy of this card is, what have I done? What have I achieved? What kind of person have I been? And that's the very kind of karma that you attract back to you, in that, if you've been a good person, if you've been striving to help yourself and help others, then that is coming back to you right now. And you can feel this inner burning, not even quite fire, this ball of energy that is burning, ready to burst open into a new world, into the world that you want to create yourself in, the type of person you want to be, the path that you want to go down. It's a real deep moving card, and it moves our inner earth within each individual. It's like an earthquake, a shift. Once you've been through the energy of this card, nothing is the same. You don't want to just have the same old. You want to bring things forward. You want to carry the good lessons that you've learned, even from the harshest times, forward with you, and really propel yourself on this soul journey, this path that you may have strayed from, that we've all strayed from to an extent, which is why we are collectively in the current circumstances that we are in. This is from the current circumstances that we are all in. This is a rising up from within. This is people doing the inner work, searching self, and having this knowing of it's time, it's ready, time to rise and shine, soldiers, and carry on and move on with this new world that you want to create. And as I said before, this karmic ending and karmic beginning, for a lot of people, the current circumstances have brought out the absolute very best in them, and they've gotten right down to the nitty-gritty to serve people in their community, to do the inner work, to heal from old wounds that have been festering, to bond with their children again, to find the fun in life again. And those people, if that resonates with you, then this is an awesome card for you today, to feel that burning, to feel that desire to go forward and rise up, soldier, and go on your path. That is it's a real beautiful energy. But there is this separation where there are some people that even through current circumstances have been the ostrich and they've buried their head. I'm sure it's the ostrich that buries their head. But a bird that buries their head, you know, there's been avoidance, there's been pretending, you know, playing pretend that, you know, nothing's going on, or what is going on is just what's being said in the mainstream. There's been this defensive pretense going on. Now this card will affect you greatly in that you will still feel that deep inner burning, but the karma may be where you haven't been looking after the people that you should be looking after, or the people that were in need, or if during this time you have, you know, done some dirty deeds business wise, some of you, then it is time to pay for that. It is time to take the karma that you've built up, that you've created, all of those chinks in the chain that you've created. We build our own karma. Nobody else does it for us. We do it. So if you're in that position, this may be a bit more of an uncomfortable day, an uncomfortable card for you, in that you're rising up, but you have a lot more to reflect on, a lot more to look back on, and want to strip from and change from and move forward from. So the second card, which is why I said it was a pretty big day, is the Magician, another major arcana. Now, if you think about everything I've just said there about stripping away all of the things that don't serve, being light but being full of knowledge, and knowledge is represented as swords in the tarot, which is air. So I'm picturing people that feel light, they feel like they can float, they feel in flow because of this resurrection, because of good karma coming back, and having the ability and the wisdom to strip any dead weight, any dead wood that, you know, or from past lessons, past lives. This is a new life, a new day. So to come forward from that energy into the Magician is pretty awesome, because this is the second card after the Fool card is the Magician, and the Magician has all of the tools on his table to manifest the world he wants to live in, to manifest the things that he wants to get done. And he has all of these tools because of those harsh lessons that you've learned, maybe leading up to this Judgment card, up to this renewal, this resurrection. You know, this Magician here in this reading is a very powerful soul. So if this resonates with you, that's awesome. And just play with it. Play with the elements. Play with magic. Whatever your style of magic might be, you know, play with it and be aware that, you know, your manifestation will be quick. Your manifestation is powerful right now. So be careful what you say. You know, don't speak ill over yourself. Don't say things like, oh, I'm definitely going to get a cold now, or say things like that, because this manifestation power is powerful. It is, and it's real. So take heed of that and speak positive words over yourself and over others. Speak positive words over this new world that you're walking into after this resurrection. And go above and beyond to do that, because that's going to pay off in dividends. It also represents on the wider stage, I feel, that there has been these magicians behind the scenes, these wizards behind the scenes that have been causing events, have been trying to direct and control the collective for so long, and they've gotten very good at it. But it's as if they can't hide anymore. It's all being revealed. You know, the ground's shaking. Things are coming up from underground. You know, there's no lies that can be buried right now. There's no misdeeds that can stay buried for very long right now. So the people who are in the collective, above the collective, I suppose, that I'm feeling, that are these magician types, these wizard types that are behind the scenes, that keep casting spells. And believe me, what we are going through right now is a spell. It's a psychological and physical spell, and it's up to us to fulfill the second half of that spell through fear, through confusion, through conformity. If we're not doing all of that, then this spell cannot work. If we're not doing all of that, then this spell dissolves at our end and can't be sent back as a full spell to their end, if that makes sense. So there's this real energy right now of things being revealed. For me, I have a vision that keeps coming back, and it's about the divine feminine, and the divine feminine being earth, earth being the womb, the waters, the sea being the waters of the womb, you know, that sustain life, that bring nurturing and nourishment to creation, to all creation. But I keep seeing ground moving and stones moving and rumbling, as if there's an earthquake, but there's not. It's just this shaking of the ground, as if you're sifting soil through a sieve, this shaking of the ground, and bones keep coming up in this vision. Bones are revealed through the shaking of this ground, through the soil becoming dry and loose and easy to move. It's as if in this vision for me, the divine feminine is birthing all of the evidence that will be needed to show these magicians, to reveal who they are, what they've been doing and what they've been up to. These bones in this vision represent the almost forensic evidence that is needed to finally show this hand, to show who these behind the scenes magicians are. And that really will bring in a new day. That really will bring in a resurrection for the collective. So that's pretty powerful today. The third card being the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords was in reverse. And what comes up with the King of Swords in reverse, especially in this reading, it's about law. It's about court orders. It's about, you know, people getting their just desserts by punishment of the law. Now to bookend this with the Judgment card and then ending with this card, the King of Swords in reverse, tells me that everything I've been speaking about these magicians that are hidden, that are, you know, manipulative, that are trying to control the collective, that there will be court orders, there will be prosecutions, there will be things that are brought into the light through this resurrection, through this shaking of the soil, through these bones coming up from the deep, that finally the law system, whatever construct it is that takes on board to look at the evidence and cast punishment, finally there's going to be an appropriate place to do that, and finally that is going to be hopefully put a stop to, because it's revealed. There's nothing hidden. The Mother Earth will not hide anymore. She's pushing up these secrets in this vision that I keep having. So I hope that makes sense to you, because sometimes it's quite hard to describe a vision, especially when part of that vision is feeling it, smelling it, you know, touching it, and so that's very hard to describe when I can only describe the physical aspects of it, really. So I hope you understand what I was saying there. But this is pretty enormous. This is a pretty big day, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if behind the scenes there is huge amounts of evidence being revealed to the right people right now, and there's huge considerations as to how they go forward with this information, what they do with this information, what will happen when this information is shared. There's this desperation of trying to foresee everything around this evidence that in my vision keeps popping up. So that's really interesting for the 20th of the 4th, 2020. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Eight of Cups. Now this speaks of moving away, letting go of the things that don't serve you. Finally, just taking the leap and being made to feel so uncomfortable in your own circumstance that you're in right now, that emotionally, even if you can't physically leave because of the isolation, because of these rules that you have to stay in the house that you were in when these rules came out, things like that, if you can't do it physically, there's a very definite shift, this huge shift I was talking about in the Judgment card. Emotionally, you're emotionally divorcing yourself from everything that doesn't serve you, everyone that doesn't serve you. So it might come across to some people that you're being quite distant or quite cut off, and that's fine, because if this reading resonates with you, then you need that time alone. You need that time to process. You need that time to cut cords and disconnect from things that don't serve you. So take that on board if that resonates with you at all. I'll try and put out another video this afternoon, I hope. I'll see how I go, because I do have an appointment. But until next time, I hope that helped. I hope that guided and inspired you to make your world as you want it to go forward with your vision, not somebody else's vision, not to be controlled or conformed into another way of life that does not serve, that is just a worker bee type way of life. Find that passion, find how you want to go forward, strip away what you do not want anymore, what does not serve you anymore, and you'll be golden. So till next time, much love, be balanced, be whole, always. Mwah.